Your dream is yours for a reason. And thank God that you have the setbacks and the insecurities and the hardships that you do. Nobody else can do exactly what you are meant to do. Decide it is going to happen, even with these insecurities. It's going to happen even with my setbacks, even with the things that have happened to me, even with my disadvantages. It's going to happen. It is going to happen even though all of this exists. It is going to happen because all of this exists. You don't have to be the most confident person in the room. You don't have to have it all figured out to believe that it is possible. It's not up to our insecurities. It's not up to the person who bullies us. It's not up to what has held us back. It's up to us. It all exists together, and it's all working together in my favor because I'm deciding that. Hi guys. Usually I don't wear my headphones while I'm recording, but like a real podcaster now, I'm doing it and I can hear myself. And I'm not really an audio savvy girl, but I'm listening and I'm learning. So I don't know if this will disturb you guys if I'm wearing my headphones. Do I look silly? I feel like it's kind of a vibe. Maybe we can let the hair down. The headphones. That's kind of cute. Okay. Hi guys, I'm in the process of upgrading my audio setup. I'm sure if you guys are listening to me now just on Spotify, you have been able to hear that I live in a urban environment. There are cars going by and I'm trying to upgrade my setup to where you won't be hearing that and you won't be hearing any external noises, but we're in the process. So I appreciate your patience. There is something that I've been thinking about all week long. It's honestly kind of been getting me down, but it's also been empowering me at the same time. And I felt like a lot of you might need to hear this because I have needed to hear this week. And I have been empowering myself with these thoughts and these realizations and breaking out of old limiting belief systems and patterns that have just really held me back. I know what I want, but do I actually believe that I can have those things? Because we don't really do something. We don't really take action towards something or turn a dream into a reality unless we really believe that the work necessary is worth it. And I think like my brain is in it. I know what I want, but my body is so used to feeling afraid. It's not always obvious what is holding us back from the life that we want to live. I keep myself in circumstances where I have to dilute myself sometimes and make myself small because I don't believe that I'm worthy of grander things sometimes. I know that I want those things, but my body doesn't actually believe I'm worthy of taking risks to move towards what I want. It wants to keep me small, wants to keep me safe, wants to keep me familiar with what it believes is true. The anxiety and the fear and everything, it's there to keep me safe. And my body is telling itself the same story over and over again. Therefore, I'm not able to break out of existing patterns or existing circumstances and create new ones and move towards what I want because I feel trapped within my insecurities or within my fears that are not always in our brain. They're hiding in our bodies, in the tension we store in our bodies and the stories that we're telling ourselves again and again in our nervous system and how we carry ourselves and what we truly believe we are worth. I just think it's somatic sometimes. It goes deeper than just whatever we're thinking about or whatever we want. It's subconscious. It's living in us, maybe from something we learned when we were very small or a circumstance that we went through that taught us to feel a certain way about ourselves. And it can really limit our risks that we're willing to take. And I find myself wanting things, but not really necessarily knowing if I can get there because I don't feel brave enough to take all the risks, or I don't feel brave enough to push myself out of my comfort zone or challenge myself a little bit. I feel myself wanting to stay safe. Something that is hard but also empowering is realizing that you decide, I decide, we decide what we are willing to create in our lives. And also, guys, we just reached 200,000 subscribers. Having these conversations that I've been having with myself, that I've been having with friends, and now I get to have with you guys all over the world, and we get to relate to these things with each other and go on this journey together. And this is what I would be doing no matter what. And the fact that you guys are here to celebrate that and do it with me and to be vulnerable, it means the world to me. And building this community together, it's the closest work to my heart. I'm so grateful, and I just feel like we haven't even gotten started yet, and we are here at 200,000. It just shows me how important these conversations are and how important vulnerability and honesty with ourselves is, and how difficult it can be, but how comforting it is when we know that we're all going through it together. If I can give you guys a space that feels cozy or entertaining or satisfying in any way, I will be here to do that. Thank you for doing it with me. I've also noticed that sometimes when certain milestones in our life happen and good things happen, it shows us where we still don't really believe in ourselves, or where we don't really see ourselves in a high regard. I'm grieving the stories that I've been telling myself for so much time, and I am grieving the belief system that I was holding on to so tightly. Like, I am the only thing holding myself back, and I am the one who decides what insecurities I'm still gonna clutch close to me, and what relationships and belief systems that kept me safe I have to shed in order to move towards the things that I want and to feel confident in big milestones like this. That's why I'm saying that the insecurities become obvious in celebratory moments. It's like, what am I still holding on to? What is still living within me that is telling myself that I can't do this, or I can't do that, or this is not going to happen? It's up to me to empower myself. I want to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. In the midst of deciding what is possible for my life and my career, I have been wanting to work on my time management. Whenever I am working on creative projects, I sort of wait until I feel inspired, and then nothing really gets done. Currently, I am taking a Make Your Art Time Management for Creatives class. But there are all types of classes on Skillshare. There are so many different creative classes when it comes to drawing, watercolor, but also so many when it comes to organization and building your own business, entrepreneurial skills, and time management. There are classes on how to script, edit, and shoot YouTube videos. Whatever you're interested at becoming an expert in, take advantage of the link below, because Skillshare has so many options. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today, get a month for free, take advantage of the link below, and become an expert in absolutely anything. I am so excited to continue to improve my time management and make my dreams a reality through it. Whenever we make decisions like getting back into YouTube, or taking a risk to start a YouTube channel, or to learn a new skill, or to start our business, or to start a new position, or just any risk or any decision or action moving towards something that we want, it is scary. And we are the ones who decide if we have it in us to make those decisions, to take those leaps. We can blame it on the outside world, what we've been given, what we haven't been given, who's encouraging us, who isn't. But at the end of the day, it is our decision. There are things that I want that I have held myself back from, and I've stayed comfortable in the wishing and the longing because I feel safer there than actually moving out of that and taking the action necessary. I've been thinking a lot about how much power we actually have in our decisions. It's a scary, sad thing to realize, because you think about how much you are the only one in your way, but also it's empowering to think, okay, I'm the only one in my way. I can do something about this. My decisions can have an impact on my life. I like to blame my external circumstances. I like to blame the areas of life that I feel as though I've been given some sort of disadvantage. I like to focus on the limitations and the fears. But at the end of the day, none of that is an excuse for me not deciding that I'm worthy, I have to go beyond those limitations that exist. I have to go beyond the insecurities I've held onto my whole life if I want to grow and if I want to move forward. I get the choice to do something despite the fears, despite the circumstances, despite what the reality around me might be telling me is possible or not. I can decide what is possible. You decide. I know there is so much living inside of you. There is that want and that desire, but there is that fear and those limitations. And that is what has been coming up for me. In the midst of happy, exciting moments, it almost feels like all that insecurity starts to purge and come to the surface. And I see what is still sitting within me. And I see what is still holding me back. And I see the stories that I'm telling myself that are holding me back. So my question that I wrote down here is, when will you empower yourself? When? Because when we wait for the rest of the world to do it, we are waiting and we are waiting. And when somebody else does it for us, great, but that's not going to last. When will you stop letting outside circumstances define you? If you have a vision or if you have a dream, decide how serious you are about it. Is it going to stay a dream or a vision? And I ask you that because you are going to have to recommit to that decision over and over again, especially if you have predisposed limiting beliefs or you are a part of an environment or circumstances that kind of doesn't encourage those dreams. Do you actually want it to be a reality? Consider it, because maybe you're not serious at all and it's just fun to think about before you go to bed and that's it. That's fine. But is this something that you will forever want and desire? And like I said, you're going to have to recommit to it over and over again. So decide how serious you are about it, because it has to be worth it to you. Is your dream worth it? Seriously, think about that. Think about that for days if you have to. Do you believe this dream is worth it? And do you believe that you are capable of having it? Like, do you believe that you are worth living that dream? Accomplishing that dream, moving towards that dream? Do you believe that you are capable of it? And I really think that a lot of that has to do with our self-worth and how worthy we believe that we are of good things or making good things happen for ourselves. Because I don't think we decide to do something until we really believe that it's worth it. And usually that's when we've hit rock bottom and it's like, okay, maybe it's time now to believe in ourselves. But we don't have to wait until we hit rock bottom. I tend to take the biggest risks once I have nothing left to lose. Like, once I am miserable enough in my circumstances, then do I decide it's worth making a change. But we have the power to decide that the dream is worth it before we get to rock bottom, before we have nothing left to lose. If you have a dream or you have an idea that you want to bring to life, but you just don't know how it's going to happen, you don't know those in-between pieces, and you're getting caught up on that and you're thinking, that's not realistic, that can't happen for me, I don't have the right setup for that, I don't have the privileges to do this, I don't have the money to do it, whatever those details are in between, drop that for a second. Just drop it for a second. I know it's important and we'll get back to it. Leave them aside and take the risk to just let yourself be excited. Because I really do believe that the first step is knowing what that little glow in your heart is. What is that little inkling of a dream? What is that thing that maybe you said you wanted as a kid, or the thing that you think about now? Like, what is that dream inside of you that when you think about it, maybe it's just a type of lifestyle, maybe it's just a type of feeling, maybe it has to do with money, maybe it has to do with your art, maybe it has to do with the type of friends that you want. Whatever it is, whatever that little feeling or hope that you have for your life or what you want to create or build, let yourself get excited about that. Figure out what it is, get clear on it, remember how it felt when you wanted that as a kid. Just become familiar with that dream again. And the foundation there is deciding that you're serious about it and deciding that maybe you don't feel worthy of it right now, but you can still decide. Stop waiting for the outside validation. Stop waiting for the encouragement. You have to be the example first. You have to do it first.
You have to picture it first. You have to get excited about it first. You are the creator of this dream, deciding that no matter what happens, it is going to happen because you are capable of it. I know that money, circumstances, everything gets in the way and it bogs us down and it makes us not even want to look at what we can do to move towards that dream. But our decisions have more power than our circumstances do. And that is the thing that I think we forget. We place all the power in our external reality and in all of the things around us all the time. And we wait for that to show us that we can do it or to encourage us. But we have to be the ones who do it first. We get to decide to be excited about that dream. We get to bring it into our reality by picturing it, by acting like it, dressing like it is our lives, talking and holding ourselves as though that is our reality, studying that thing, being about that thing, looking at people who have done it before and admiring them. These are all tiny, tiny, tiny little things that we can do no matter what. We always have the choice to sort of energetically shift. And I don't want to lose anybody here with that language of energy and everything, but it really is like, where are you placing your focus? What are you really embodying here? Because our power is robbed of us the second that we decide that we don't have a choice. The only way that we can make change in what we want to see, or make change in our lives, or make a dream a reality is when we bring the power back to our decisions. What are we deciding to listen to? Who are we spending our time around? How are we spending our days? If we let the circumstances around us define what is possible, then we might as well just throw the towel in right now. But if there is more left to change, if there is more left to do, if there is a dream inside of you that has yet to come to fruition in the world, you can decide that it's going to happen. It's so much easier to blame our reality and to blame things on the very real circumstances around us. It's scary to say, actually, this is up to me. Actually, I have a choice in how I'm spending my time, my energy, what I'm doing. Because that means we actually have to take ownership of our decisions and what we are deciding. Stop looking at what you don't have, or this person has this advantage so they can do that and you can't because you don't have that, or you have hardships that somebody else doesn't have so you can't do it. No, your dream is yours for a reason. And thank God that you have the setbacks and the insecurities and the hardships that you do, because that means that you have what it takes to move through those things and make your specific dream a reality. Nobody else can do exactly what you are meant to do. Your specific individual set of disadvantages, of insecurities, is what is setting you up. Think about it as your toolbox. Everything that has been given to you, every difficult circumstance that you have gotten through, your insecurities, your limiting beliefs, they are your tools. They are showing you what you need to work through, what you need to learn, what you need to continue to strengthen in your life to make that beautiful dream a reality. That is what is going to get you there. Not the things that you wish you had and that other people have, and I'm waiting for these things. No, your hardships, your insecurities, those things are going to get you what you want. Those things are going to teach you what it is that you want, teach you the type of strengths that you have, and test you and your abilities to strengthen them. You have that specific dream for a reason. You with your exact environment, your exact set of beliefs right now, whatever it is that you feel as though you need to work through or that you need to do, you have all of that for a reason alongside your dream. Whatever you want, even if it feels so different from whatever your life is right now, it all exists simultaneously. That life that you are living right now is happening for a reason, to get you to whatever it is that you want. Decide it is going to happen. It is going to happen even though all of this exists. It is going to happen because all of this exists, even with these insecurities. It's going to happen even with my setbacks, even with the trauma I have, even with the things that have happened to me, even with my disadvantages. It's going to happen. All of it can exist together. You can be at the lowest point in your life and still be excited about your dream. You don't have to be the most confident person in the room to take a risk. You don't have to have it all figured out to believe that it is possible. That's the beautiful beautiful thing about having power in our decisions is it's not up to anybody else. It's not up to our insecurities. It's not up to the person who bullies us. It's not up to what has held us back. It's up to us. Use your insecurities to your advantage. Use failure in your favor. Use your setbacks to show you what you are capable of. Allow them to exist alongside the dream, alongside taking risks towards the dream. Maybe those insecurities and those setbacks will change the more risks you continue to take and the more you continue to believe in yourself, but they are just as much a part of the journey. I was given this dream. I was given these setbacks for a reason. It all exists together and it's all working together in my favor because I'm deciding that, right? That's not just necessarily a fact. Like, I could have a very different perspective, but I am deciding that that is true. I am deciding, therefore, it has happened and it will continue to happen because I'm deciding that there's just no other way. A great friend of mine the other day was doing this teaching and I was involved in her class, and she was just talking about how a rose seed, that is meant to be a rose. When you plant it, that will become a rose. It's not going to become a daisy. It's not going to become a lily. That's how I'm seeing your dream, is whatever you have, even if it's just an inkling of a little idea or a little dream, that is a seed that will inevitably grow into what it is supposed to grow into. And you have that beautiful specific seed in you. That dream is that beautiful seed that will inevitably grow the more that we continue to decide to nurture it, to decide to build the environment for it to grow into. So find that excitement, find that headspace, find that routine that fits in your passion project, find that outfit that makes you feel excited and confident. All these little details, like I said, that don't always feel like huge contributions, but they are that sort of internal work of changing your mind and your confidence and the way that you carry yourself and the way that you're getting excited about your choices and your decisions, how you structure your life. Find the dream within you and hold on to it. Find the courage. And if you can't find the courage, find the time to pray for the courage or to ask for the courage or to look within for the courage. Whatever you need to do, find out where your limiting beliefs are. Find out why you're feeling that way. We can slowly work at these things, and they make such a huge difference in what we believe is possible. Okay, this is something that I really want to relay to you guys. Our limitations and fears will always find a shape or form to exist in the more that we cater to them. If we continue to live by those limiting beliefs, if we continue to live by those insecurities and those fears, it will always rob us of the opportunity of breaking out of them, of making a change, of changing our lives or our realities. It feels uncomfortable to change our mind, to step out of our comfort zone, to repeat positive affirmations to ourselves, because it feels silly to tell yourself all of these positive, good beliefs when maybe what you're used to is the opposite of that. It feels scary. It feels uncomfortable. And why would we put our bodies through something that doesn't feel safe? Our limitations feel safe. Our fears feel safe. The more that we continue to place our focus somewhere else, the less power that they have over us. We decide where we're going to place the power. And in order to change our circumstances, we must believe what we want despite our circumstances. If we want to change what is our current reality, we have to make that uncomfortable change within ourselves first, and within our belief system, and in what we believe that we are worthy of. I know how it feels to be shot down, to be told that you're not good enough, or to be shown that you're not worthy of that hard work, or just to be scared or be surrounded by negativity and not feeling as though you can separate yourself from that or from those feelings. But I am telling you, if you have a dream, big, small, outlandish, realistic, not realistic, whatever it is, it can be a reality because it already exists in you. You decide to grow it. Like we said with the seed, you decide to nurture that. You decide to create an environment for it to grow. You decide when you're going to put that time into it. You decide when you're going to invest in that dream, whether that is in the form of doing things that help build your confidence. It doesn't have to be some crazy massive step to be a very powerful decision in the journey. All those decisions, no matter how big or small they are getting you there. This is a big piece that is scary, and we touched on it a little bit earlier, but owning your decisions. I encourage you to start taking responsibility for your decisions, even the ones that you're not proud of. So much of the time, we don't want to place that power back into our decisions because we know that maybe we're not making the best use of our time or we're not really honoring our dreams. We can't beat ourselves up about the decisions that we are making because then no real change can be made, right? When we are taking ownership and accountability for our decisions and having that awareness, you really got to remember to pair it with that love and compassion for yourself, because holding that awareness and taking accountability, that is farther than most people in this life get. So give yourself some grace there. Even if you're not proud of the decisions that you have made, be gentle with myself as I learn about why I'm making these decisions. Maybe it isn't your fault. Who is affecting your decisions? What environment is affecting your decisions? Ask yourself, why am I making the decisions that I'm making? What is causing me to want to do it this way? What feels so scary about making a decision to believe in myself? In taking accountability for your actions and in your decisions, you are doing a lot. Just being aware of it. Own your choices and you'll be able to realize how much power it is that you actually have. Or maybe you're realizing the power that others have over you and your decisions and the choice that you're making to keep it that way. I know it can be scary. Like I said, when we start to take this ownership, we realize how much control we really do have over who we surround ourselves by and sort of the rule systems that we live by in our head, in our lives, in our environments. But what is making us feel as though we need to make that decision or that choice? Asking myself these questions and asking myself why I make the same decisions every day that are keeping me in the same place has brought up the realization of, oh wow, I don't believe that I'm worthy of making that change, or this thing that I think is so hard and I'm motivating myself to do, or anything that I'm trying to apply discipline to in my life. Maybe it feels so difficult because I don't actually believe I'm worthy of going through that process, or I don't believe I'm worthy of the outcome that it's going to bring me. There are stories there living inside of us. It isn't until we start asking ourselves why we are living by them, why are we making the certain decisions that we are, that we start to see what is validating those insecurities, what is validating living a life by our fears, what is that story inside of ourselves, what do we really believe we are worth, because that is what is going to dictate our decisions. And like I said, we can work on that self-worth, we can work on that confidence in all these little ways, and it will come, but it really ultimately is up to us to make that decision, to take a risk, to move out of what feels familiar sometimes if we want to create change. Believing despite the circumstance, despite whatever your fears or your reality or anybody is telling you, believing that something else is possible, picturing that something else is possible. Therefore, it is. That is the only time that change has ever been made, is when people believe that it is worth it despite what is happening in the world, despite what people are saying is possible and what isn't, and who has power and who doesn't. We have power in our decisions, and what we decide is possible. Don't entertain what is holding you back. It can exist. Doubt will exist, insecurities will exist, limitations will exist. But when we stop entertaining them, we are taking that power away. Doubt will always try to justify itself within our minds, our insecurities, our situations. I could come up with 20, 30 reasons right now to justify my doubt and to talk about why it's impossible for me to get to the point that I want to get to or to achieve the things that I want. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to think of ways to decide that what I want can be a reality. I'm going to entertain that. I'm going to entertain the excitement towards what I want to create. I'm going to entertain the little things that I can do to make that a reality. I'm going to entertain what I do want, not what I don't want. When will we decide that we're going to do it anyways? When will we decide that we are going to do it despite the fact that the doubt exists? When are you going to decide that you can put that little action towards it anyways? When you're at rock bottom? When somebody tells you that it's possible? When somebody gives you the money or the time or the approval or the validation? Okay, but when are you going to decide that you are worthy of those things? You can have all of that, but you decide that you're worthy of it. You decide that you're going to be in the right place at the right time to receive that. You decide. I know that we talk about this in the sense of it's all very strenuous and hard work, but it doesn't have to be. It has to be a decision. And sometimes a decision in itself is very scary and hard to make. But I promise you, we have more power than we believe. And I know that that's not always a fun realization, but it's true. And it can be fun and it can be empowering to know that we are the ones who dictate what is next. It is up to us. And I know that my life is up to me and I decide how I'm gonna live my day today. That is a beautiful thing. But yeah, guys, that is what I have for today. Thank you for enjoying this beautiful morning with me. I feel very excited and encouraged now to go into this long day, realizing that I decide, I get to choose my perspective and how I choose to use my focus, my time, and my energy. And I'm excited. I am excited. And I just want you to remember that you have more power than you realize. Nothing can take that away from you. A lot of things might happen to make you believe that you no longer have that power, but you do. We all do. We decide. You decide. I hope that you all have a beautiful day, a beautiful morning, evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I am wishing you the best, always. I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.